About a month ago, Tommy John, a company that makes underwear for both men and women, conducted a survey where they interviewed 2,000 Americans to find out how often they change their underwear. And the results are startling. Now, I know this is probably not what you wanted to hear when you first clicked onto this video. It might be a little uncomfortable, but bear with me. In fact, you probably heard something about it on social media because it kind of made a big deal about it. I don't really know why necessarily, but here's what they found out. They found out that 45% of Americans will go 2 or more days in a row without changing their underwear. And it gets worse than that. They found out that 13% of Americans will go a week or more before they change their underwear. It's pretty gross, right? I mean, why do we do that? Why do we change our underwear? We do it to stay clean, and it's just kind of common knowledge. It's just good sense. It's just how we keep good hygiene, right? I mean, I'm almost embarrassed to say a little bit of this, to be honest with you, but it kind of speaks to a greater point that I want to bring up to you today, because there was a man, an American botanist named Luther Burbank, who once said, he said, it is well for people to change their minds occasionally in order to keep them clean. We know we should change our underwear, right? But how often do you change your mind? How often do you have new ideas, new thoughts running through your mind to clean it out? That's the whole purpose of running water. Back in the ancient days, men and women would wash their hands in like a pool of water or a basin of water, and they would inevitably get sick. They didn't understand that running water was a curative, it was a preventative, to keep things from stagnating, from collecting and causing a problem. And this is what happens when we have ideas and we have opinions and we have thoughts, and we don't ever change, and we don't ever have new things running through our minds. It's very important to keep learning. It's very important to keep educating ourselves, but it's very important also for us to remain open to the ideas of others. You can change your mind about a lot of things, just about anything. You can change your mind about your relationships, your friendships, your political point of views, who you vote for. You can change your mind about your job. You can change your opinions. You can change just about anything. You have autonomy. That's the way you were created. You were created with a will. Even if you don't choose the right side, you still have the ability to choose. You still have the ability to exercise free will. And that's an inherent freedom that you have. But many people forfeit that. They will form ideas and thoughts, and then they will close themselves off because they will say that people shouldn't be so open-minded. They don't want the responsibility of having to think through anything else because they've got to figure it out. I think part of this is intellectual laziness, because it does take some responsibility to embrace new ideas, to take on new thoughts, to sift through them and decide what is true, what is not, what works for me, what doesn't, what's acceptable in society, what's not. That does take some level of responsibility. That's what I was trying to say. That's why I stammered there. But also, it takes some humility to be willing to be open-minded, because you might find out that you're not right about everything, and that perhaps it's beneficial to you and to everybody else around you for you to change the way you think. It's essential. You'll have a hard time getting through life if you are so closed off. Now, you have people who are too open-minded, and everything comes in and nothing goes out until they have too much in there and they have to dump something else for what's new. What I mean by that is these are people who are wishy-washy. They're flaky. They're flighty. They have all these new ideas that come into their head, but they don't really believe any of them. They haven't really sifted through them. You know what I mean? And then you have those who they're completely closed off. They don't welcome anything new. But these are the people who grow up to be cranky old codgers, I found out. And you don't want to be that guy. So to keep the cobwebs out, to keep your house clean, introduce new ideas, new thoughts, ask yourself the hard questions, be willing to change your mind. That's one thing I've always appreciated about my father growing up. We had some very deep theological and philosophical conversations. And you grow up with a set of ideas, a set of beliefs, and you might question in time whether what you believe is true or not. Some people discourage that. They'll say, no, this is true, this is right, and that's the way it is. And they're afraid that if you question it, you'll go in the other direction. But questioning things and introducing new ideas, new thoughts, actually bolsters the truth. It doesn't negate from it. It doesn't diminish it. It bolsters it. And so don't be afraid to plumb new depths, to climb to new heights. It makes life so much more interesting, and it makes you so much more effective. And yes, it will give you satisfaction. I hope this has helped today, guys. I hope it's been beneficial to you. I hope it's in some way introduced new thoughts, new ideas into your head. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and be willing to share this on social media. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.